False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. That's a Christmas tree.
Damn right.
I'm joined today by a man who doesn't know what day it is, doesn't know what day of the week it is, doesn't know what time it is, but knows that it's somewhere between Christmas and New Year's and that he's older than the last time we saw each other. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. It's that time of the year, man. How are you?
I feel like I've aged years, months, days. It's been a minute, but no, dude, I'm doing good. Glad to be back in New Mexico. How you doing? How's everything holding up?
We're hanging in there. We're in like day five of dogs sitting in Honey Bear's lair. It's been about a year since she saw us. She fell back in love with me again. She always does it.
Oh,
And we'll touch on that there, local scouting report with our penultimate topic of the day.
hell
But,
yeah.
but before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, give this thing a 5-star review, bring it into a new year, put 5 on it. We got 51 subscribers. We'd love to get to 55. She
We
looked at
we
me
can
and she,
drive 55. Van Halen cannot, but we can.
dude, I saw something that I gotta say this. I saw something that was like apparently Sammy Hagar and Bill Clinton are like the same year in school. And it said
Okay.
this one guy did 40 years of drugs, partying, and rock and roll, and the other guy lived with Hillary Clinton. And who looks worse?
Who could say? Who could say?
100%. I don't know, man. It's a hell of a drug, I guess, being lying to people for decades.
100%. Yeah. Being a Clinton, it ages you quickly.
But we ain't gonna lie to you. I appreciate you holding down the fort there for our Christmas episode and everything like that. Time people want us to do stuff, dude. It's like you're at a family get together. I'm not gonna pull you back here. I gotta feed the cute monster, and I got a little hangry that day. That's okay.
It happens to the best of us, man. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get schedules to line up over the holiday season, so no worries, man. We're all good.
Also, the fact we're 2 time zones apart, and the fact that you run on Central Time at work, which is so stupid.
I'm just I'm a time traveler. I'm like Hermione Granger with the time turner, basically.
Yes, and we're gonna turn some time here. Obviously, fall started. We're gonna move on to our first and 15 today with playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs are back. It's been a
Mhm.
while. Just our overall thoughts heading into the 4 quarterfinals games. We've got on New Year's Eve night, we've got the Cotton Bowl between number 10 Miami and number 2 Ohio State. Then in the morning or noonish, whatever, when people are really hungover and stuff like
Oh,
that.
it's the morning for your boy, for sure.
Good old 10 a.m. there at
Yes, sir.
Los Alamos. And Los Alamos is Spanish for 10 a.m., I think.
100%. Yeah. Nothing happens and everything happens at 10 a.m.
And the most 10 a.m. game of all time, a team that's almost in that time zone. You got the number 5 Oregon Ducks taking on the number 4 Texas Tech Red Raiders
Mhm.
in the Orange Bowl in essentially Miami. Then mid-afternoon, they've got the Rose Bowl, which apparently it's all about the sun setting, but I think the weather is going to be really bad between number 9 Alabama and number 1 Indiana. And then closer to 9 my time, 8 Central, whatever the hell it is, it's going to be number 6 Ole Miss versus number 3 my Georgia Bulldogs. And then we're going to be coming to you guys semi-live after that. It's going to be so dumb.
No, it's a marathon. I think that's the best way to describe it because there's a hell of a lot of bowl games before we get to the Cotton Bowl on New Year's Eve as well. So it's gonna be a fun ride. I To start us off with some playoff thoughts. I'm starting with the Orange Bowl because it's a game I just keep thinking about because I think it's the most compelling game to me, followed closely by Alabama. Well, everything but Georgia Ole Miss is compelling to me, and that has nothing to do with Georgia. It has to do with the fact that I don't think that game's going to be particularly close. But the other three games, they're all compelling in their own ways. But I'm most compelled by Texas Tech, Oregon because I'm of two minds. One, I know what Oregon is capable of. Whether or not they show what they're capable of is the big question. But more importantly, like I think Texas Tech knows who they are probably better than anyone in this college football playoff. They are a defensive-minded football team with one of the best defenses in the country. And I keep coming back to the idea of when you look at the top defenses that Oregon has faced this year, their offense has not looked like what it did against JMU, like what it did
Right.
in some of their bigger wins against lower level Big Ten competition. You scored 20 points against Indiana. You scored 18 points against Iowa. And then in regulation, I believe they had 17 against Penn State. Texas Tech's defense is better than all three of those teams. So I keep looking at this game and Oregon is favored, and I think that's probably right. Like, because they have an offense that is bankable, whereas I'm not sure that's necessarily the case with Texas Tech. I think this is going to be a low scoring. I think this game is going to be very similar to what we saw with Texas A&M and M and Miami, is what I keep coming back to. I think that the two best units and the two units with the most advantages on this field are going to be the defenses.
I kind of that is certainly the game of intrigue because I think it's probably one of the more up in the air ones we
Mhm.
have in this weekend, whatever event slate, if you
Yeah,
will.
that's right.
But I'm right there kind of with you. I think there's four teams that could win a national championship left. There's three that wish they could, and there's one that doesn't have any shot. And well, I'll let you figure out who those where each team falls in that respective category. I think it's interesting that you bring up that Texas Tech has the best idea of who it is, but it also kind of feels like Kurt Russell going through the imagination Landorf way.
Yes.
They have no idea what's expected. Then you got Oregon over there, the man bear pig that is Dan Lanning, Tosh Lapoy, and Will Stein. We don't know if it's half man or half bear pig or whatever it is, but
Hmm.
Oregon's got a lot of stuff going on for it. That game again could go either way. I have a little bit stronger feelings about that once we kind of make our picks here in the next segment. My other thing is, look, I know this is only the second year that we've had this 12 team format. Like, I've got no feel for it. There's no rhythm with this.
Hmm.
Like, what, the 20th was the Alabama, Oklahoma on a Friday night.
Hmm.
And then you had what, like, the three other ones were on the 21st on like a Saturday.
Hmm.
So we're talking like 9, 10, 11 days here of in between. It's like back in the day, I'd be like, okay, the New Year's Six would be like the New Year's Six games. You got two semifinals, and then you play like the first day of spring semester here on the East Coast. But
Right.
now we're just like, who knows?
Now we're coming up to like conference championship weekend in the NFL is when the finale is for this. So like yeah, the schedule is all wonky and like I do think the other prevailing thought that I keep having is like I don't think that last year in the first year of the 12 team playoff, kind of what we're talking about with the schedule, I don't think like, we watched all four teams that had buys last year lose. I don't think we're going to see the same thing again. I don't think that there's anything to read into when it comes to the buys. I don't think that it's an advantage or a disadvantage. Like that's been something that's been talked about in the NFL for decades at this point, and like you keep looking at this and or not just the NFL, but professional sports leagues for decades. Like, is the buy really a good thing? Do you really want the buy? And the data always comes back inconclusive because it really just depends on the teams that are playing, man. And like I don't think like I personally don't think we're going to see a sweep of all the bye teams winning necessarily. But I also don't think that I definitely don't think we're in danger of a reverse sweep. Like, I don't think that that's in the cards either. I don't think we're going to see that again and again and again. I don't think it's a majority thing either. Like, I don't think we're going to see the majority of the teams with the bye lose. Like, I guess what I'm saying is don't read too much into the buys. Don't read too much into the playoff that we saw last year because there's a reason they changed the seeding. And the reason is because now the four best teams in the college football playoff have the bye.
Yes. All four of the teams that lost last year, there is a totally justifiable explanation for that. Boise State.
Oregon, I'm not so sure, but go ahead.
Well, I'll work our way to Oregon. Okay, obviously Boise State was overseeded. They were the three seed. They should have been the 10 or 11.
Hmm.
They kept it close with Penn State. Didn't have it. That's okay. Arizona State played ahead of their skis. They got shot up from like 12 to like 4,
Hmm.
and they almost beat Texas.
Hmm.
Georgia was beat the hell up. They were starting Gunnar Stockton for the first time versus a red hot Notre Dame team.
Hmm.
Nobody was beating that team outside of Ohio State. And then with Oregon, yes, they threw up all over themselves, but it's really hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year.
No, absolutely it is. I'm just giving Oregon a hard time because of how bad that was. Like, I understand that it is hard to beat the same team twice, but It's also hard to get your ass kicked that badly too when you're as talented as Oregon was.
I remember coming back from the Peach Bowl at the Arizona State podcast, watched that in person. We're in our Uber coming back up by Pascal's up through the back end of that way. First place that'll come pick us up in an Uber. And I'm looking like, okay, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be covering the latter part of the Rose Bowl, and then obviously the Sugar Bowl at night. Um, I'm sitting in the car, looking at my phone with the score. First quarter, it's something like 30 to nothing. And I go to the Arizona State podcast and give her this look, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I look, I just pull up the phone. She's like, "Oh my God."
It got out of hand quickly. Like this Brick killed a guy. It was bad.
It was bad, but I'm really excited that it's back here. I need it. I need it really, really badly.
No, 100%. I'm extremely excited for this slate of games. Like I have my feelings, and we're gonna get to our picks here in just a second. But like I have my feelings and my leans of where I think these games are gonna go. But like I think you said it very nicely. Like there are four teams that I think are true national championship contenders. There's three that are hopeful and I think can cause some chaos. I think that's the biggest key there. Like they may not have what I think it takes to win a national championship, but they sure as hell have what it takes to win a quarterfinal game. And then there's Ole Miss. And
Yeah.
so um, shouts to the Rebels, great season, but yeah.
And on that note, you better Euro check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Hmm.
We're gonna make picks. We're gonna go in chronological order. I'm gonna show read off the point spread from officially from a FanDuel Sportsbook as of a few hours ago. Again, we're recording here semi live, 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Mountain, wherever the
Yeah.
hell you are in the world. Let's go with the Cotton Bowl. That's the not the Friday night. I keep saying Friday night, whatever. It's the prime time game on New Year's Eve between number 10 Miami versus number 2 Ohio State. The Buckeyes are laying 9.5. I'm gonna go with Ohio State, and I think they're gonna cover, but they're not gonna cover by much. I think that they win by maybe 10 or 12. This is ultimately where I come back to on this. If Miami is going to pull off the upset, Carson Beck has to be a factor, and Shannon Dawson has to out scheme Matt Patricia. One could happen, maybe not both, and you'd also need Julian Sand to fall apart. There's a lot of things going here. And when you have Beck, and I've seen him play enough, but when he's trying to force an issue here, that could be problematic. But again, we don't know what Julian Sand's going to do in this format. I think Miami is not maybe not as talented, but near enough to Ohio State to keep it interesting. You're looking at something like a final score of 30 to 20.
So I think we see this game a little differently because you said 30 to 20. I think it's a lot lower scoring, man. I the under is at 41 hey honey bear. The under is at 41 and a half, I believe. And when you look at the over under being at 41 and a half, I'm still like the under in this game. I think that Miami's defense has the goods. I was talking about Miami's defense. That's where I'm at right now. I think Miami's defense has the goods to cause some problems for Ohio State. We saw Indiana's front have plenty of success there. And when you look at the two elite defenses, which I consider Miami an elite defense, when you look at the two elite defenses that Ohio State has played this season, we're talking about Texas and we're talking about Indiana. They scored a combined 24 points against those defenses. And that makes me want to pick Miami in this game, but I can't because of what you mentioned with Shannon Dawson versus Matt Patricia. I just don't see that being I see that being a heavy advantage for Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State to win this game. I don't think they cover though. I think this is a game decided by one score. And I envision the final score I'm thinking is something like 17-10, 17-9, something in that range. I think both of these teams are going to find it very difficult to score.
Yeah, no. Ryan Day's face is still going to look red, rosy out there in Texas. I talked about Carson Beck and Honey Bear went out there just to go tell everybody what I'm saying. She's been watching Stranger Things with us, so
Oh God, seeing some things.
seeing some things. So we're both picking Ohio State to win, maybe comfortably, relatively speaking, but they're going to enter the Fiesta Bowl with some concerns.
100%.
So let's move on to the Orange Bowl
Hmm.
between Oregon and Texas Tech. Oregon is laying 2.5 points. I've gone back and forth on this game. This has been one of the harder ones for me to pick. I am going to take Oregon to win,
Okay.
and my reasoning for this is, look, I think Dan Lanning is a better head coach than Joe McGuire. I think he can actually impact games where Joe McGuire is just shaking babies and kissing hands. Yes, Sheo Wood's a fantastic defensive coordinator, but so is Tosh Lapoy and Will Stein's
Yeah.
pretty good on offense. Ultimately, I think that the difference between Baron Morton, who I think is the worst quarterback remaining in the field, and Dante Moore, who I think is the third behind Mendoza and Stockton,
Hmm.
is substantial. And that's going to matter. Again, you're playing in South Florida. Yeah, you're playing outside, but like weather is going to be in your favor here a little bit there. I feel like if it was, playing in adverse conditions, that may negatively impact Oregon a little bit, but we saw them be able to win ugly. I'm looking at Oregon winning the game probably something like 28-24.
Okay. We're not eye to eye on this. I'm going with Texas Tech in this game.
Okay.
And to me, what I came down to as the deciding factor, and maybe I will admit this, or there's a chance this is a harebrained idea, but I think to the point of Texas Tech knowing their identity, I think that Joe McGuire knows what Baron Morton is, that he is the worst quarterback in this college football playoff field. I think that this Texas Tech staff is going to make sure that Baron Morton doesn't beat them, like allow Texas Tech to beat themselves. I think on the other side of the football, one thing that I keep coming, like when I look back at that Ohio State Oregon game we were talking about last year, the hubris of Oregon was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Um, you walked in there with with your barrel chest and you thought you were going to impose your will. It didn't happen. If Oregon walks into this game and tries to impose its will, particularly offensively against Texas Tech, they are going to put themselves behind the eight ball. And for all of the things that we talk about with Oregon, fake tough guy nonsense, I think it really comes down to that hubris. I think it comes down to trying to assert your will and be, because they are as talented as they are, because they do, have these expectations that Oregon has at this point. I think that they're going to be too stubborn to actually adjust to the opponent that they're playing. And I think they're going to try and impose their will. And I don't think it's going to work against this Texas Tech team. Again, I think this is an ugly game. I'm thinking like 21-18,
Yeah.
21-17, something in there. Texas Tech gets it done.
I can get with that too. The hubris is kind of out of control. It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is really hubris. I mean, Dan Lanning named his kid Trident or something, and he can't even smile. He has no idea how to do this.
Yeah, it's his first
Um,
time. He's never done this before.
okay. Oh no, she's misbehaving again.
Howdy, Bear. Howdy, Bear.
1 second, man.
No, you're good.
Let's get through your bond. Here
And
we go.
I think going back to the Texas Tech, just talk a little bit more about this Texas Tech Oregon game. I think that one thing that does come to mind is that Dante Moore is not particularly mobile. And with the ability for Texas Tech to generate pressure, I think against anyone in the country, even this Oregon offensive line, I think Moore's lack of mobility could come into play. And again, going back to that hubris, like if you're trying to force things with a quarterback who's not in his comfort zone, that's not going to work out particularly well in most cases.
Honey Bear is a lot like Dante Moore. She's not in her comfort zone, but you can't see her bone.
Oh no.
It was getting close to the Christmas tree, and we didn't want to have a disaster like
God
that.
no, 100%.
No, not even one little bit here. I'm glad we're kind of the other side of it, which probably says, this game is really up in the air.
100%. I'm again like it's one that it may be at 10 a.m., but I'm going to be excited at 10 a.m. I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
And I think that's fair. And then the game that they're going to be hyping up a lot about, the Rose Bowl between number nine Alabama and number one Indiana. Indiana's laying 7.5. I think there's a chance Indiana can get upset here. I'm not
Mhm.
ruling that out at all.
Oh
But the
yeah.
Pareto principle, I would still think Indiana's probably going to win 80% of the time, which is why I'm gonna go with the Hoosiers here. I think the biggest thing is there's one glaring weakness in this game, and Alabama can't run the football.
Hmm. Yep.
And I think Indiana is probably the most well-coached team in college football. I think Georgia's a very close second.
Hmm.
And for as much as, I think Kalen DeBoer is a fantastic head coach. I think Ryan Grubb is going to have to really earn it. And I think that DeBoer is not going to be the CEO type that he needs to be. They're going to get cute. They're going to ask Ty Simpson to find a piece of hay in a needle stack when cousin Ryan Williams is just prancing around out there like a gazelle. They've got Jerry Bernard in quadruple coverage, and they still throw it to him or something.
100%. Yeah. Jeremy Bernard's getting peppered in this one.
So yeah, I'm gonna take Indiana to win, but not cover. I think weather's not going to be very good in this. I'm gonna take Indiana to win something like 23-18.
Okay. I like that. I'm taking Indiana to win and cover. And really, it comes down to two things. One, I think Indiana is just the better football team. Show me the weakness that Indiana has at this point, because I don't see one. This is a complete football team from coaching down to whatever facet of the football game you want to talk about. They've proven it at every stop this year. They're a complete football team. And as you mentioned, Alabama is not a complete football team. They can't run the ball. The defense is very, very good, but I still don't think it's an elite defense by any stretch of the imagination. Like, you allowed Oklahoma to hit the 20s last or in the first round. Like, Oklahoma's terrible on offense. Like that's sticking in my brain and I can't get it out of there. But the biggest thing to me, yes, I'm not ruling out the potential of an upset. Like, yes, obviously Alabama is talented enough to pull off an upset against Indiana. Like, there's a reason that the helmet battle does matter to some degree because this is Alabama and this is Indiana. Alabama is historically is comfortable in this postseason position. This is Indiana's second time ever experiencing it. Having said that, Kurt Cignetti's heard all of that too, and that's all anyone's been talking about is, oh, Alabama deserves some credit in this game. Alabama has a chance to pull off an upset in this game. That's been the narrative and talking point about this game since Alabama beat Oklahoma. I saw a soundbite today from Kurt Cignetti where someone asked him about what his players in the locker room thought about the mystique of Alabama and how they were going to match that on the field. And he said very bluntly and very Coach Sig fashion, he said, and this is paraphrase, I can't remember everything he said off the top of my head, but something to the effect of, you reporters probably know more about the Mystique Alabama than anyone in that locker room. They only know what they've seen on film. And to me, that says that like what they see on film is that they're the better football team. They see the weaknesses that they can exploit in Alabama. And you talk about the weather if you want a third factor in this. If Alabama can't run the ball, well, damn, I don't want a bad weather game where Ty Simpson's throwing the ball 45 times. That's not a recipe for success.
And Fernando Mendoza, he can run a little, just like a peacock and fly a little bit. A little bit.
100%. Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg here. I think Nick Saban was on the Pat McAfee show with AJ Hawk standing there like it's a Easter Island.
That's right. Not saying a word.
And Pat McAfee, he's in Indianapolis talking about this. He's hearing it all the time, and everything is a Colts legend and everything like that. Also, I think the fact I didn't realize until later that he and Coach Stig share the same alma mater of West
Mm,
Virginia. And Coach Stig's dad was the coach at WVU prior to Don Nehlen. I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. That's dope.
It wasn't very good.
Hey, but he did it though.
But Nick Saban was saying, he just said what everybody wants to say. It's like, I don't think the casual football fan really respects Indiana. I mean, people who are coaches, who are players, who are tied into this, like you and I, anybody in our sphere, knows how talented Indiana is. But there's people he's playing golf with, in the first tee, he's like, we're playing Indiana. That's a win, right? And Nick Saban's like, what do you mean? This team's really talented. You see them beat the tar out of Ohio State.
Yep.
People don't want to believe it. I think Indiana might blow some people's brains like 11 or whatever.
That's all right. No, 100%. I mean, like, it's wild that you can have a team that's 13-0, beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, beat the number 5 seed in the college football playoff in Oregon by margin in Eugene. Like, people, you can keep doubting Indiana all you want. This is the best. This has been the best team in the country all season long.
What's your final score are you looking at for this?
I think I'm going to end up probably going somewhere like 27-17. something in there.
Okay.
Like Alabama's going to get some of theirs. I just think that there's going to be some backbreaking mistakes from Alabama. And like to your point, like yeah, I don't trust Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer at this point. That like it's I think Kalen DeBoer is a very very good head coach. I don't necessarily like the Grubb marriage at this point. I think that it's kind of a toxic relationship, if we're being honest.
And also Nick Sheridan's on the way out too. I believe
Mhm.
he's going to Michigan State, I think,
Yeah,
to be Fitzgerald's OC. And then yeah,
what a
something.
hire.
Also Chip Kelly's going to Northwestern.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And let's get on to the final game here with the Sugar Bowl. Number 6 Ole Miss is playing my number 3 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia is laying 6.5. Again, I'm mostly tied to this, and I'm a little fearful. You got to beat the same team twice, but Kirby Smart is 4-0 in those settings. He beat Auburn the second time around in 17. He beat Alabama the second time around in 21. He swept Texas last year, and he beat Alabama the second time around this year. I think Georgia wins by 2 touchdowns. I think that they're going to win something 35-21.
Okay.
This is what I'm of the belief of. And again, it comes down to this. I think Trinidad Chambliss is a really good quarterback. He's close to Gunnar Stockton. Again, that's kind of inconsequential. The coaching mismatch. It's just you've got the best coach in college football in Kirby Smart versus Pete Golding, who could be good, but we just have no idea.
True.
And the biggest thing here is look, 6 of those coaches who are on Pete Golding's staff right now are on LSU. You got foxes in the hen house right now.
Hmm.
They are poaching. They are doing stuff. Chambliss is going to be distracted. I'm not saying like we're going to see some sort of Eugene Robinson stuff out of Ole Miss here, but like this is a very fragmented team right now, and you cannot be possibly fragmented versus a team like Georgia. It will get ugly very quickly. Also, Gunnar Stockton is just like he's going back to the place where he lost his first game. He doesn't take losses too very well. He's going to take his Heisman snubbing a little bit personally. Um, he's going to come out of here and he's just going to shred them. He's going to probably count for 4 of their 5 touchdowns today.
So I'm with you on most of what you said. Just want to my read on this game is honestly simpler than the infrastructure of Ole Miss, which I completely agree with. None of that is good for Ole Miss by any stretch of the imagination. But I keep going back to the first matchup. And you say it's hard to beat the same team twice. I feel like it's going to be hard for Ole Miss to play that game twice. And that was the only way Ole Miss had a chance. They scored on almost every possession that they had against that Georgia defense in that first meeting. They played a phenomenal offensive game, got Georgia into a shootout, and Georgia's defense at the time really didn't have a whole hell of a lot of answers, but the offense had enough answers to get the win. I don't think we see that again from Ole Miss. The Georgia defense is playing substantially better than they were then. Kawan Lacey is at best going to play banged up if he plays at all in this game. Not only is that a factor for the run game, but he's also one of the best pass protecting backs in college football. With the way Georgia's pass rush is playing, I sure as hell would want one of the best pass protecting running backs on the field. I You can say 2 touchdowns. I think this is a blowout. I think we have a chance to start recording at the end of the third quarter. That's where I'm almost at with this game. I'm calling 45-17. I think this is a blowout. I think that Georgia beats the absolute dog piss at Ole Miss.
And that would be absolutely incredible. There was another point that I had here that was really good. And it had something to do with oh yeah, like Ole Miss didn't stop Georgia one time the
Hmm.
previous meeting. Yeah, granted that was in Athens, but that was also in mid to late October weather. You're not playing in the Superdome.
Hmm. Yeah, like I just when you look at just how well like Ole Miss played that game as well as they possibly could, and I think they're just a worse team than Georgia was even at that moment. Georgia's gotten better. There are more questions about Ole Miss, and I don't expect Ole Miss, with all the coaching up people that we've been talking about, to be able to play a perfect game once again.
The other thing is, how many dome games has Ole Miss played recently? Georgia plays a lot.
I can't even like think of one. Like
Like they may
one.
they may have put like Baylor in like at like in Houston or something like that in a couple of years ago. But Georgia's almost always playing the SEC championship, and they play in a lot of dome games. And again, this is like not natural grass,
Hmm.
so it's gonna play faster. And I think the teams that has the better athletes, that favors them considerably. When it's a track meet and you've got the better shoes, it's gonna be challenging for the transfer portal kings of Oxford, Mississippi.
The last time, at least I'm not looking at venues, but just judging by most of these games, they weren't at neutral sites. The last time Ole Miss would have played in a dome would have been the 2023 Peach Bowl against
Oh,
Penn State.
okay, that makes sense. They have played occasionally some, so yeah, it's been a minute,
Yeah,
but and none of those guys in that played in that team are really a factor here. So this is a whole new thing. The lights are different. It's it's going to be, and you got to sit here and think about this all day because this is the last game too.
100%. Yeah, I don't want to like I know I sound like very dismissive of Ole Miss. Ole Miss had a phenomenal season. Ole Miss deserves their spot to be here. Ole Miss beat the dog water out of Tulane. But let's also like if you want to go back and look at that Tulane game, Tulane moved the ball pretty decently.
Yeah,
Um,
they did really what Retzlaff was able to move the ball between the 20s, couldn't
I
punch
was
it in.
about that's what I was
Uh,
just about to say. 20 to 20, they looked great. The red zone was a problem. Not a problem for Georgia.
no, Gunnar Stockton's the best red zone quarterback I've seen since Cam Newton.
And you also have like roughly a half dozen running backs that can factor in there for Georgia as well.
Yeah, it's
Well,
gonna.
maybe a half dozen and hopefully not Cash Jones.
I don't know. He's closer to Texas, so we'll see what he does. Cash Jones on Bourbon Street.
Hey, Cash Jones can get plenty of touches in the fourth quarter when the game's out of hand. There we go.
Yeah, and when it comes to the NFL or not, he coming, he gone eventually.
Mhm.
Let's move on to our third topic of the day. We're going to touch on one big hire and one not. Kyle Whittingham is taking over at Michigan, and Marcus Freeman, he's going to stay at Notre Dame. He is not going to take the Giants job.
Probably a smart call. I wouldn't take a job in New York either.
Before we begin, I don't think this is true, but I saw this on Twitter, and I hope you did too. So Kyle Whittingham played his college football in the 80s at BYU.
Mhm.
He's from like Northern California or whatever, Mormon kind of that pipeline. I think he also played for the 87 Rams.
Mhm.
That's the year when they had like, the replacements, the scab players, if you will.
Yeah.
I believe he was on the same defense as Marion Suge Knight of Death Row Records.
Yes. Yes.
And this is definitely AI created. This is everybody on that Rams team, which I think was fantastic, like Vince Ferragamo, peak
Mhm.
Eric Dickerson, everything like that. They said everybody on the defense feared Marion Suge Knight except Kyle Whittingham. There's just a picture of him standing in the doorway.
I love that.
I'm sure you can find it there on X, but I absolutely love him to Michigan. They fell ass backwards into a fantastic hire, just like Penn State getting Matt Campbell. Hand and
No,
glove, dude.
100%, man. It's an absolutely perfect fit, and one that I truly didn't believe that was going to happen. If I'm being real with you, like I thought Kyle Whittingham was retiring because he didn't want to coach football anymore, and like maybe I'm naive to not think that the bag can entice anyone, but man, I just looked like he had it made at Utah. Was obviously very comfortable there, and I thought he was stepping away, and like to be able to throw the bag at him and get a coach of this caliber to and I think the other thing that really stands out, man, is when you look at all like, yes, I understand that they won a national championship 2 years ago, but like it's been tumultuous through like despite that. Like everything about it other than that has been turmoil in Ann Arbor. Kyle Whittingham is the least tumultuous human being I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. I was getting my ass kicked by a cough like Kyle Whittingham kicking Marion Suge Knight's
That's
ass
right.
in the Rams locker room. I always love that when a college coach you realize played in the NFL and it just blows your mind.
Oh, 100%.
Like when I found out PJ Fleck played for the 49ers for a bit, did not know that at all.
Dude does not look like at least Kyle Whittingham is like you can tell like back in the day like he was a strapping young fellow. PJ Fleck, nothing about him says strapping by any stretch of the
No.
imagination.
He's really good at winning bowl games too. We'll touch on that here
Hell
in a
yeah.
little bit. The other thing is why I think Kyle Whittingham fits this thing, besides Utah kind of being Michigan light, which has been Georgia light, they kind of
Mhm.
play the same sort of thing. You know who Kyle Whittingham's really close friend is, the guy who vetted the job for this? His mentor, Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
And Urban Meyer's mentor is Lou Holtz. He says, yeah, take that job.
No, 100%. And like let's be clear too. It's also juicy, the last The last Big Ten program to hire a Utah coach was Ohio State hiring Urban Meyer. Worked out pretty well for them. So Michigan doing the same. Hopefully it works out for them. The other thing did want to mention. I just love Kyle Whittingham. Like I think he's like the dry humor of college football to me. Like it's never like overtly like, your Eli Drinkwitz, your Kenny Dillingham, but they're gonna give you like a good sound bite and like you're gonna know like intentionally give you a good sound bite. But Kyle Whittingham was asked during one of his press conferences this week, and he was asked, do you hate Ohio State? And he grinned and he just looked and said, I do now. And like that's just good stuff. Like that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, he's got that Western Carolina blood in him a little bit,
Oh,
dude.
100%.
He's he's the guy who I don't know if he drinks, probably not, but like he's like I've had like 5 or 6 ciders. I can drive down this mountain. I'm good.
100%. Yeah. I don't think there's a ton of opportunity to drink in the great state of Utah, but there's that. One thing about Utah that I did not realize until we were there vacationing last year, or no, yeah, well, it's still last year technically now. The legal driving limit in Utah is lower than anywhere else in the country. It is 0.04. 0.04.
Yeah, just stay inside.
Yeah,
Hang out.
100%.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Kyle Whittingham, in the wake of Sharon Moore being, kind of a total
Sh
creep.
Sharon Moore. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody went on his Instagram page for Kyle Whittingham. It says he follows five women, three of which he's related to, and he's never posted.
It's a win. Win for everyone.
Like we are gonna do when we get to the Super Bowl with also the semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame have come out here, and it'll be interesting to see who's gonna get in. I would venture to guess Drew Brees gets in on the first ballot, even though I think he's an incredibly overrated quarterback.
Larry Fitz probably also first ballot.
Yes, Marshall Yanda's got a good shot as well,
Yeah.
and I'd like to see Torrey Holt finally get in. He's
Yeah.
waited his time.
Well deserved on Torrey Holt's part.
Willie Anderson's waited a long time too.
Yeah. Uh,
Jason Witten's on there too.
Not yet. He's definitely not a first ballot guy, but
No,
he'll get in there eventually. Need to make Eli Manning wait a little bit longer too. Like I think Eli eventually gets into the Hall of Fame. Uh, we can debate whether or not that's right or not, but two Super Bowls and the way that he won those Super Bowls, I think does ultimately narratively get him into the Hall of Fame. But make him sweat it a little bit.
yeah, and also after last night's Falcons win over the Rams, the argument that Matthew Stafford's more of a lock for Canton than Matt Stafford's more a lock than Matt Ryan is just stupid. It's
It's fair.
they're the same kind of player. Matt Ryan played at a crappier franchise for longer.
Oh, for sure.
But I do think that they all kind of get in there. But the problem is you can only put five in, and we're going to do a ballot like that at some point. Basically, people who are no longer like in the college football sphere will do like a head coach. We know that is per contributor, and then five players. We got to figure out the five
100%.
players. It's going to be unbelievable. And
Most likely unhinged.
Kyle Whittingham will make it in at some point too. I feel like he's the legend is starting to grow.
100%, yeah. And I mean, especially if he succeeds at Michigan, like he'll waltz in there.
He'll punch through concrete reinforcement in there.
That's right.
And then Marcus Freeman's not going to leave Notre Dame for the Giants. I know I do like a radio hit every Friday with Rich Quinones with On Q, and he's a Giants fan. He's going through it in real time. I told him that it's going to be just a scared game of chicken between them and the Raiders, and it was.
Oh, it was awful. Some Giants fans that are in my sphere were lamenting Deontay Banks having a return touchdown. Giants fans hate Deontay Banks. Like a waste of a first round pick, and that's not far off from like their feelings on that are not far off from how bad he's been. And so it's very fitting that he scored a touchdown to help them lose the number one pick yet again.
The Giants is just a bunch of mayonnaise sandwiches, man. It's not going hot. So Marcus Freeman's going to stay. And right now, there's only two vacancies in the NFL. That would be the Giants and the Titans. There will be others that will open up. It seems like the Raiders are going to move on from Pete Carroll. That seems like the next most likely. We'll see what my Falcons do. I think they're probably going to retain Raheem Morris probably for another year because what's going to be better than that? We'll see what happens elsewhere. Maybe it's the end of the run for Zach Taylor in Cincinnati.
Arizona, Jonathan Gannon. I know there's
Yeah,
some
that
questions
that
there.
that thing's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you did have to start Jacoby Brissett for half the season, which is not like what you want, but yeah, Jonathan Gannon just might not be the guy.
No, I hope she didn't poop in the bathroom. That's Jonathan Gannon. He is the best into a press conference of all time. That was the one where it was just like, when did you know that like the NFL was could be unforgiving? He's like, my quarterback went to prison, and he walked up because I think he was like a quality control guy for the '07 Falcons.
It's a fair point. It is, that's pretty unforgiving.
I don't know if he's a good head coach this time. Maybe if he goes somewhere else, but like the guy knows defense.
Oh no, 100%. He'll catch on somewhere. Hell, I'd love for if he was fired, I'd love for the Dallas Cowboys to hire him as a defensive coordinator. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jeff Ulbrich wasn't going to be good, and he's been sensational.
100%. Yeah. To the Marcus Freeman point, I have a question for you that's kind of rattling in my head because I have my thoughts on it. Do you think Marcus Freeman ever goes to, because it's the second straight offseason where there's been Marcus Freeman to the NFL buzz. Do you think that ever happens, or do you think this is all leverage over and over again?
The only job he would take is the Bears.
Hmm.
I don't see that happening with Ben Johnson, although Ben Johnson, I have a feeling like it's going to be a roller coaster. I think it's going to burn hot there a little bit.
Hmm.
I do think he might leave Notre Dame. And
Okay.
I think he would go replace a guy who's probably going to the NFL. I think he goes back to alma mater and places Ryan Day at some point. I think Ryan Day is going to get the NFL.
I could see that. But I think our feelings are similar. I'm not saying he's going to be at Notre Dame forever. That's not what I'm getting at, but the NFL buzz just feels contrived to me. I don't know what like a when you see head coaches jump from college to the NFL, it's not normally someone who is like Marcus Freeman has more than proven himself at this point. Don't get me wrong, but like in the grand scheme of things, he's green at this. He's in like he's just finished what his third or fourth season as the head coach at Notre Dame. Fourth season, third season.
Yeah, yeah, I think he's still under 40, so
Yeah.
he's in like his third, fourth, or fifth year at Notre Dame. And then you bring up a good point, like how much ties does he have to the Bears? Maybe the NFL. Maybe he got drafted by the Bears and play very much. It's the same people who talk about Kirby Smart going to the NFL. Like he was undrafted free agent on the 98, 99 Colts, and then he had 1 year on Saban's staff in Miami. Like how much ties do you really have to the NFL there?
Yeah, and I mean like there are success stories of coaches going from college to the NFL. Jim Harbaugh, obviously phenomenal with the 49ers.
Pete Carroll in Seattle,
Yeah,
Jimmy
Pete
Johnson with
Carroll.
the Cowboys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there are examples. There's also equally as many failures. Like the greatest college football coach of all time was not a good NFL head coach in Nick Saban with the Miami Dolphins.
No.
Lane Kiffin, who, granted, I have had this thought. I wonder what Lane Kiffin now would look like in the NFL as opposed to when he, was with the Raiders, because I think it would be very different and I think probably more positive. But at the same time, like he's out here kicking 70-yard field goals before those were a thing. You know what I mean? Like it went very poorly in Vegas or
He,
lost or
Oakland.
Oakland at the time. But regardless.
I mean, I could see like Kiffin coaching the Falcons or Cowboys. He coached one of those type of teams.
Oh God. Lane Kiffin and Jerry Jones giving joint press conferences might be the death of me. I might have a heart attack.
I mean, he just seems like Jerry Glanville, man. Like
Yeah.
yeah, he could make that happen. But there will be somebody who makes the jump to the NFL. I mean, I think Jeff Halfley is probably a very much a consideration for the Giants gig, and
Mhm.
that may be actually be the direction I'd go.
Yeah, I'm not a bad hire at all. He's been phenomenal in Green Bay. Well, he had been. Once he lost Michael Parsons, Derrick Henry had some fun.
Choo choo.
That's right.
And we're gonna have some fun here with some strange bowls. Here we come with Antonio Banderas. We're gonna recap some bowls, we're gonna preview some bowls. And the good news is once we finish this one up, the next time we do it, we're just gonna recap some bowls and it's gonna be just playoff games. And all right. So Cody did a fantastic job with this. So the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, we went up to Boise and Washington State won 34-21. And I think it had something to do with Antonio being shirtless with potatoes in both hands, leading a cheer. It says, more potatoes, Kirby, more potatoes. And He graduated from the Bronco Mendenhall School of Survival. Bronco Mendenhall's like, dude, I can't eat this food for hogs, dude.
No, 100%. That's slop to Bronco Mendenhall for sure. Not nearly enough protein. And seeing one of his graduates behave in that manner and so non-school survivally, I think really got in Bronco's head for sure.
And also, I think the fact that they're about to become conference foes here too really pissed him
Hmm.
off.
100%. Yeah, he was not a fan of that by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and then we made our way down to Boca Raton, Florida for the Louisville ended up winning 27-20 over Toledo. Again, you know what happened with the Jason Candle of it all, and I
Hmm.
kind of got more of what the Jeff Brom is. Antonio went into the went into the vat of baked beans like he's what Roger Daltrey of the Who.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that we have not heard from any of the Louisville players we saw eating the beans after because Antonio had a hand in making those beans. And I don't know what went in them, but I feel very confident in saying it was more than just baked beans.
Probably dog food.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't tell the difference. It's a big ass bowl of baked beans.
Scooby snacks. Um, he was a little distraught when he found out that Jason Candle was actually a candle and it melted. We thought that he thought Jeff Brom was a wizard
Oh
and
yeah.
turned him into a candle and he melted. And then Antonio went around saying he's a witch and that's why he didn't get the Michigan job.
Yeah, he confided in me. Jason Candle to him now is Lumiere. That's what he's calling him because he's just a candle out here. And I was surprised he could say Lumiere if I'm being really honest about it. But apparently he's well versed in the in not necessarily the French language, but Beauty and the Beast for sure.
Can't say Clocksworth worth a damn. That's
Oh no, God no.
no. I mean, he also, I think he told me he got into acting because of Gaston. And like that's a cartoon.
Yeah, but what a performance though, you know?
Uh, also the Belle's dad is definitely Uncle Billy from It's a Wonderful Life. Just a dumb man who can't do shit. That's not it.
It's true, man. When they did the live action and they had Kevin Kline as what's his name? Whatever, Belle's dad. It was perfect because that's where Kevin Kline thrives as an actor, is that type of role.
Just a comedic slob. I love all of that. And Antonio loved being in Boca Raton. He got crispier than a George Hamilton there. I'll tell you that much.
100% more tanning oil. It was his suitcase was just tanning oil.
And then he went to Hawaii.
That's right.
Antonio did get laid, and he also got punched in the face by Nick Rolovich because he gave a mask.
He didn't have a mask and yeah, I mean, we all saw the brawl at the end of the Hawaii Bowl with Cal and Hawaii really getting after it. And Antonio may or may not have started that. He looked at Nick Rolovich and he maskless or with a mask on because Hawaii, some stricter laws out there, and he wanted to make sure he was social distancing and keeping his mask on, and he was just talking a lot of trash to Nick Rolovich, and that got the blood boiling. That really got the blood boiling, and Nick Rolovich passed that on to his players, and we saw what happened, man.
Oh, dude, it got to be too much. Antonio did get punched in the face by Nick Rolovich at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Like Antonio does, I mean, he's a plastic blow up doll, but like his eye was really messed up, and he became thoroughly convinced. I mean, it was like it was Christmas Eve. We told him he could have a wish, and he basically said that he was Santa. He tried to take JKS and give it to Timmy Chang because he was convinced that he's Timmy Chang's son. It's like his long lost son. I brought you your son back. And Timmy Chang says, "That's not my son, Antonio. I just said bulldog."
Bulldog, man. The only like instance of love that I know stronger between that or than Antonio and Bulldogs is Timmy Chang in the University of Hawaii. Those are the only
Uh,
two like strongest loves I know.
I mean, Timmy Chang is like the ultimate guy. Remember in Diz, Timmy Chang changed lives, dude.
100%. And it's still changing lives.
Still changing lives. And I don't know if it was changing lives. We did have to go get a rate to lock in that loan. We saw. I guess that was in Cleveland or wherever the hell Detroit. I think it was Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Detroit. I think you're
the
right.
the, the land of God, what's the what's the Cavs owner's name? Dan
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 Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Minnesota unbeaten in bowl games under PJ Fleck. They won overtime over Jason Eck. So it was Fleck and Eck, and Antonio got really confused. He was wondering where Floyd was, and I think the problem is he thought Jason Eck was Floyd, tried to bite him, and that's why they lost.
I get it, man. Yeah, he finally like decided that it was the Floyd of Rosedale right as we went into overtime, and I think you're definitely right. That's what doomed New Mexico in this one.
I mean, I was Antonio was really grown because he and PJ Fleck are now like really close friends. Like
Mhm.
basically the friendship that he had with Drake is now with PJ Fleck, which is just a complete shock. It's like Steve the Hare Harrington and Dustin Henderson. Nobody saw this coming.
Yeah, I mean, Antonio is trying to be a style maven that guides PJ Fleck into the next era, and he's wearing his banana hammock thong with the sweater vest, and he's telling PJ Fleck, this is the recipe for success. And PJ Fleck's like, absolutely effing not. And Antonio, of course, said Bulldog. And so it's a battle of wills at this point. But I wouldn't get in a battle of wills with Antonio. That's a losing battle.
I mean, I tried telling him his vest was just a like a neon vest that you wear when you work in construction. That's why he was able to get in there because we thought Ford Field was like under construction, everything like that. And PJ Fleck was kind of impressed with all of this, and
100%.
couldn't find Snoopy. I'm like, we're in Detroit. He didn't care.
He also kept asking. I think there's some confusion about Eminem and M&Ms. He was looking for some candy throughout most of the game, and I don't think he understood what was happening.
And he lost himself in that moment. And he didn't know it. And we made our way down to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Damn right.
Um, So Antonio thought that like the Pop Tarts were getting a suntan, and he was really, really jealous. And he also caused the play that went through the receiver's hand for Georgia Tech for BYU to win.
Hmm.
What was he doing on the sidelines to in and around the vicinity of Brent Key?
So, have you seen the video for Blind Melon's No Rain? Uh,
Yes.
Antonio may or may not have had that bee costume there, and he was trying to get Brent Key's attention, and may have gotten the receiver's attention as well. It definitely got Brent Key's attention because Brent Key was trying to hunt him down after the game. That's for sure.
There's a non-zero chance that No Rain by Blind Melon is Brent Key's favorite song.
It should be. It's a great song.
Yes. And he started complaining there was no rain. I'm like, well, I mean, you are in Florida. I guess I can understand that sort of thing there. But the other thing that was really impressive was Antonio showed Kalani Sitake how to eat a Pop-Tart because I don't think he ever ate a Pop-Tart before in his life.
I don't know, man. He took that thing down in one bite, so he might know a thing or two about it. I will say that as Brent Key and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets were pissed at Antonio, he changed costumes, and I don't know if you noticed the strawberry Pop Tart bailed on the toaster.
Yeah.
Antonio had actually commandeered that costume, and he was hiding, and then he realized he was going to have to go into the toaster, and he had to bail and just run away. And we found him walking down the side of the road in Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a delicious pastry. He's made of plastic, and that would have been really bad for the environment.
100%. Don't put plastic in your toasters, guys.
No, and then we went to the Birmingham Bowl where they're all about burning stuff.
Back to damn Alabama for the 18th time this bowl season.
Clay Helton beat Dow Loggins' team. Georgia Southern won 29 to 10, and it was a lot of there was a lot of hate there. There's a lot of hate for too much hate for even Alabama, which was kind of shocking to me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not going to say what it almost just came out of my mouth.
The the
Please
problem
continue.
the problem was Antonio dressed up as Vulcan, the Roman god of fire and brimstone and assless leather chaps, and he was out there to forge.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all know Bandera is the equivalent of Smith and Kowalski. It just means blacksmith in Spanish. That's what it means.
100%. Yeah. And he was ready to rock. And Clay Helton liked that energy. That's actually the energy Clay Helton wishes he has.
And he told me Gata means, and it means get after that, Antonio.
That's right. Yes, sir.
He did say Bulldog, but I don't think that play Holton really care. He's like, you know what? Fine, you got Georgia right, sort of.
It's close enough, man.
You're smart enough to go here, dude. Don't worry about it.
100%. We'll give you a degree right now.
Have you ever been to Statesboro?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a
There's a
place.
there's a I went there to pick up my fraternity brother who was getting his master's there on the way to St. Simon's.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Patrick, there's no hills. He's like, do you think these people could deal with hills, man? Are you kidding me?
It's gotta be flat lands, no curves, baby.
Yeah. And we used to walk up both ways from downtown at Athens.
That's right.
Man. So we previewed all that. We recapped all that. We got to preview some more. Again, we're going to be at the Alamo Bowl tonight for TCU USC. Antonio told me he hasn't gone to the bathroom in 4 days.
No, he hasn't gone to the bathroom out of remembrance of the Alamo. I don't know how they're correlated, but he seems to think they are somehow. Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe the soldiers didn't go to the bathroom for 4 days. Who knows?
He's more septic than two presidents who died in the 40s, and William Henry Harrison and General Zach Taylor. Um,
100%.
and I don't think snakes and leeches bought him. I mean, I've got a door wide open, so I'm probably going to get pneumonia too. He didn't die from a bunch of cherries and milk. I think he's had,
Tippecanoe and Antonio too.
and this is false start. I don't know if you saw this. John Tyler's like grandson like just finally died.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. It's so wild. Having children in like their 80s.
He's, Al Pacino's grandson's gonna fly to is gonna make alien contact. He's gonna know George James Tiberius Kirk.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, Antonio's just saving up a lot of pee, like a dog would go on a walk. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing. He brought his leash. He wants us to walk him on the river walk, and
Mm.
I'm like, we're not going to go to jail before we go to the Alamo Bowl. So he's ready to pee on the Alamo, Lincoln Riley, but we all know he's going to go all over Sonny Dykes, unfortunately.
100%, yeah. And I've tried to clear up this confusion, but I don't think it's taken as things do with Antonio. Obviously Josh Hoover not playing this game for TCU as he's in the transfer portal. Ken Seals is the starter, and Antonio thinks it's Seal, the musical artist and former husband of Heidi Klum, and he's got a bunch of roses that he's also bringing to this game for Kiss by a Rose, and I don't know what he's planning with it, but it's not going to make a damn bit of sense.
He thinks he's Batman too. Again, nothing in San Antonio makes sense. For that reason, I'm taking USC to win. I think Jade Mayav is gonna just light him up.
Yeah, USC by a lot.
And the Smith song was a rush and a push, and the land is ours. Again, we got to rush to the bathroom, we got to push, and then
Hmm.
we're claiming territory. We're marking our territory.
That's right.
All right, we're gonna be going tomorrow to the ReliaQuest Bowl between Vanderbilt and I forgot who Vanderbilt's playing.
Iowa, baby.
Oh hell yeah, that game's gonna be that game for the Smiths is called Suffer Little Children. Again, that's probably why he's saving up his pay because he's gonna be hanging out with Pavia's the guy that he replaced, the guy Pavia replaced in Ken Seals, and he's gonna learn how to pee with the best pisser of all time, Diego Pavia.
I've already been in contact with no less than five bail bondsmen just to, get a pre-existing relationship going.
I don't know who Diego Pavia's dad is. I think it might be Walter Matthau.
It's not out of the question, man.
I don't know. I bet Theo Vaughn wishes he could be there too.
100%. He's the dad that stepped up.
He's he was there. Vanderbilt is gonna slaughter Iowa. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the Japanese term that you said, but I think it might be Kirk Ferentz doing that on the field at Diego
Oh, that's some
Pavia.
that's seppuku, baby. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and that ain't Sudoku, baby.
That's right.
And
God,
then
I would love to see Antonio do a Sudoku. He'd do it like a crossword.
yeah, he'll try to tell us that's how much money we got to pay him.
That's right.
No, he doesn't tip either. And on that note, we got to move on to the Orange Bowl between Texas Tech and Oregon. Obviously, we picked on different sides of this. I've picked Oregon. You picked Texas Tech. The Smith song is "How Soon Is Now" because how soon is now for the playoff to come back on here?
Yeah, truly. And how soon is now for both of these teams, if we're being honest? Like, Oregon, when are you going to do something? Texas Tech, are you going to do something? Like, I'm not rushing it, but this is your first crack at it. We've been hearing about you. Let's do it.
Yes. I guess the Antonio component here is shaking babies and kissing hands.
Hmm.
That's the only thing Antonio knows how to do, and unfortunately, that's going to disturb a lot of people down in Lubbock because you're supposed to shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah, but I mean, this game's in Florida, so anything goes, really, you know.
Yeah, Florida just different breed of people, man.
It's a different country. It truly is.
I used to always joke if we could like get rid of pediatric cancer by depriving one state of internet, and that would be Ohio. We could probably do something if we made Florida into just barricaded off like Jurassic Park. We could probably stop inflation.
Absolutely, 100%. You know what? Build the wall over Florida.
Let's go. The Floridian Peninsula becomes the Floridian compound. This is false start. And then we got the last game we got a preview. We got the Duke's Mayo Bowl. This Smith song is going to be Panic because that's when the Mayo concoction is going to be rolling down the face of either Jake Dickert or Jeff Levy in
Hmm.
Charlotte.
100%. And we're gonna try our best to keep Antonio away from the Mayo, but no promises.
Is that who's playing that? You didn't get that wrong. Wake Forest, Mississippi State. Okay, cool. I thought Mississippi State already played in the bowl game. Never mind.
No, no. For some reason, they're one of the last actual bowl games.
I thought they played La Tech, but I was freaking
Oh
out.
no, La Tech was Coastal earlier today, which was
Okay.
a very dumb. Saw something I don't think I've ever seen in college football before, Bueller. La Tech's going for a 2-point conversion, and Coastal's like messing the bed this entire game. They were up 14-3 and then didn't score in the second half, despite having four or creating four turnovers. And La Tech's going for 2-point conversion to make it a 20-14 game. And they're running a little short pass play to the left side, and a Coastal defender just runs onto the field off of the bench. Never seen anything like it. What are we doing here, man?
So that's where Tyler Chase went.
Dude, like, we've seen late substitutions that are too late. This was a dude like mid play just running onto the field. Never seen anything. And even worse, he didn't even make the play. La Tech still got the 2-point conversion.
I'm gonna go with Wake Forest here. I think, just to win this game because I think I can see the Deacon being the one to pour the mayo on top of Jake Dickert. And then Wake might win the ACC next year.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Wake as well. I would love. Honestly, I'm probably rooting for Mississippi State in this game. I want good things to happen for this program and Jeff Levy. Going to a bowl game at 5-7, but Wake's the better team.
The other thing that's really important, I forgot to say this about Antonio, the reason why we're finishing bowl season before we get to the playoff semifinals, Antonio wants to see if the Demon Deacon, aka Ebenezer Scrooge, if he's a changed person. Or if he's gonna die in January like Will Ferrell. We don't know.
You big Christmas Carol, bitch.
he he does it for the ripples. The also
How far the ripples go.
I didn't realize this because I watched Elephant Just Friends and I realized that like Brian Reynolds and Will Ferrell were also in Christmas movies before they did a Christmas movie together.
100%.
Yeah. And on that note, let's get on to some local scouting report. Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it, baby.
We got some Christmas stories to tell. You go first. You've got two, and I've got one, maybe two.
Yeah, mine are not like super Christmassy, but I was in North Carolina for the Christmas season, and one night the NC State podcast and I went out and did some bar hopping, well, more brewery hopping with some friends. We went to the Bold Rock Cidery in Mills River, beautiful Mills River, and man, I gotta tell you, unless I'm going with the intention of seeing live music, nothing pisses me off more than someone playing live music in a place where I'm not expecting it. And the thing about Bold Rock Cidery is that it's just a tin can with nice trappings around it. And so you walk in and you're just bombarded with this dude singing. And I think my biggest thing with live music at places like that, places that have live music like almost every night, is you're like if you have it every night of the week, 5 out of 7 nights, it's not going to be very good. And it's a lot of the time going to be what this guy was doing, where he was playing covers of obviously very popular songs and just making them worse. I walk in, the dude's playing Free Fallin' at 6 p.m. And I'm just like, okay, the timing's all wrong. you don't have the vocal cords to sing this song. And he like tried to like slow it down like he was like John Mayer or something, which the Tom Petty version is already better than John Mayer's version. So like, why are we doing that? It was so bad, Bueller, that we had to go sit outside in like 45 degrees. Like it was much better than being trapped inside with that man.
Look, I've played in a bunch of crappy high school bands where you plug into a Marshall stack in someone's garage,
Yeah.
and you realize you just sound like Eddie Munson playing Master of Puppets. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And I actually, when we had the Arizona State podcast, when we went to making sure there's not an animal coming inside.
Right.
There's one over there, not over there. Uh, gonna be everywhere. When the Arizona State podcast and I went to Key West, we were super hungover at the pool. And this had a guy that was kind of like Uncle Baby Billy, and he was playing free fall on the pool side. And I was just like, there's planes flying ahead, there's iguanas falling, there's ibises trying to like eat our food. It felt like hell.
Oh, dude, it was not at all what I was looking for in that moment.
Also, for anybody who's in Bills River, go to the Sierra Nevada Brewery. That place is
That was
fantastic.
stop number two. Yeah, that was we had a dinner reservation at Sierra Nevada. So yeah.
I've been there. We've been to the same place before.
Oh
It's
yeah.
cool, if those walls could talk.
100%.
All right, so here's my big story. So we were supposed to record on the 23rd.
Hmm.
I was ready. Cody got go to a family, got
I
invited
got
to a family thing.
detained is
Yeah,
really
he
what it
got
comes down to.
yeah. So I'm dressed up in my Santa costume and everything like that. And I hadn't eaten, so I was getting a little hangry. The Arizona State podcast came home from work, and we go to the establishment right behind our house. Let's just, for those of you who know what it is, just it's the oldest restaurant in Atlanta.
Hmm.
That's the best way to say it. Food's really good. Service isn't very is for as good as the food is, the service is just as bad.
There are people who work there, and that's what we can say.
So we walk in there, we don't get greeted. Again, I'm like really hungry. Like, are they gonna stop serving food here? Whatever. We move inside, we get to a table that's dirty. We sit down. Food is fantastic. I got like a fried chicken thing. It was great with
Hell yeah.
gravy, mac and
That
cheese.
the service might be bad, but the people in the kitchen working, they're doing their job well.
So we're sitting in the corner, and there's a guy over there, and he is treating this Atlanta Hawks versus the Chicago Bulls regular season game like Matt Verram treating a Chiefs preseason game.
Mm,
You would have thought it was Viet effing Nam. Just like this guy was, you would have thought the Hawks were playing like the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. He clearly had money on it. He was freaking out. Probably about 30 was probably about how I would say
mm,
his dark
yeah,
hair with his friends. And Rosemary's like, dude, what's this guy's problem? And I'm like, he hasn't gotten laid in a while. That's okay.
100%.
So we're sitting there and eventually the game ends and we're waiting for our check again because this place takes forever. We're super tired. We go to bed. In from the front door, we see a guy walk in there with, I kid you not, a Paul Stanley like eye tattoo.
Okay.
And about 2 minutes later, a guy walks in wearing leather jeans, very interesting build, looks kind of familiar. And I saw the bartender go, oh God, whatever it is. And they kind of make their way to the back room. And I go up to Rosemary and I'm like, I think I've seen that guy before. I don't know who it is. And as we get home, we're brushing our teeth and stuff. I pull up my phone. Turns out that was CeeLo Green. He was sitting courtside at the Hawks game.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Does he my main question about CeeLo Green, is he as short as he appears?
He's probably about 5'6", yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not vertically inclined by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a diminutive statured fella.
Yeah, and I'm like, here's the guy who sang the greatest song of the 2000s, "Crazy" by Gnarls Barkley, walking in there, and then instead of saying "Forget You," he said hello to some tasty burrito quesadillas.
Hell yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good night.
I'm glad he kind of grew out of his only wearing a shower curtain phase in his life.
You would have recognized him had that been the case, though.
No, but what's your second Christmas play?
Um, so obviously being back in North Carolina, had to frequent the Bojangles, the Bojangles.
Boj,
And
yeah.
oh, dude, it was so good. They have a new menu item. This is not the story, but I just gotta sing its praises. My normal order is a Cajun filet biscuit combo with bow rounds and a sweet tea, and then I would get a steak biscuit. Well, now they have the smothered steak biscuit, which is a steak biscuit with gravy. And let me tell you, just innovation around at every corner. That thing absolutely slaps. Regardless, my mom and I are driving through at Bojangles, and my mom is a still one of the holdovers. I say holdovers, it's a boomer thing, if we're being real honest. Cash everywhere. We're paying cash for this, we're paying cash for that. Um, we go to the window and pay. She's trying to pay exact change, and she gives the cashier, I think the it ended in a two, and she tries to give the cashier 2 pennies. Bojangles doesn't accept pennies anymore. Which it, what like I understand that pennies are done with production, but that's still currency. If correct me if I'm wrong, but that's still American currency that spends, American tender. And the fact that you're not taking pennies is wild. And then it created a whole fuss because despite the fact that it was 2 cents, like if you're not gonna accept pennies, don't have things that end in 2 cents. Let's go with that. Let's start there. But secondly, they don't have any pennies now, so they're handing out just like nearest 5 cents. So they got a dime and change instead of a nickel or whatever in pennies. So I just can't. I'm still flabbergasted that there's a well-known establishment that is a chain, a franchise that's not accepting pennies.
I'll give you something with this. That's unbelievable. Miss Jill is the king of I'm going to pay you $20.02. So
Oh,
here are these two pennies.
that's literally what it was. But there was $20.02. I swear to God.
And speaking of $20, this is what it is. So the Arizona State podcast works with some girls who are fresh out of college and stuff in the jewelry space.
Hmm.
And this one girl, she saw on her phone, it literally had the Google thing says, what is the change that I use from a 20 to make $18.37?
Oh, that's tough. That's not what you want.
Like, just also,
Like, do you not know
um,
what the money's worth? Like, that's one of the things, like, I'll never understand. Like, people who have trouble reading, people like, dyslexia, all, other learning disorders, like, I get that. Someone who can't, like, add up money, I don't understand that.
okay, if it's 1837, it's a 10, it's a five, it's three ones, it's like a quarter, a dime, and two pennies. It's,
I mean, honestly, like, and here's the thing that blows my mind. Like, just figure it out. Like, give the person 37 pennies if you have to. I don't care. That's still 37 cents unless you're going to Bojangles, in which case don't give them 37 pennies.
no, they wouldn't give you a bow round,
That's
but
right.
all right, so Adventures of Dog Sitting is probably the last way that I'll probably go, and I had to do this. We're with Honey Bear right now. She's misbehaved a little bit. She's a little red tick coon hound. That's kind of what she is. She is the cutest bark of all time. She's the one that like when we come in there and you surprise her, she wets the bed, but we decided we close the bedroom, so she should just do that, just piss the couch a little bit. We've also found out that she needs to watch like something when you go. So we put on
Mm,
Adventure Time
nice.
because we don't want to walk into Paw Patrol.
Right.
But also we've been watching a lot of like we watched the studio, that show.
Okay.
Definitely check that out. It's great.
I need to watch it for sure.
Ike Barinholtz is Mark Powell. And I'll say that. Mark Powell to Bender is what that is.
That's pretty good. Now, like I'm seeing Ike Barinholtz in my mind. That's pretty good.
Yeah, like like Mark Powell, like Barinholtz, and John Cena could all be related.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Seth Rogen can't do anything right. But we're watching this, and we're obviously watching Stranger Things get caught up on this, and we're watching like some really demented stuff on there.
Mhm.
Honey Bear go out there and bark and tell everybody in the yard that we're doing this. But if you don't put her show on, she'll go in there and tear up your tea bags. So we come back from food, just 2 dozen just tea bags just destroyed.
Important detail of this. Were these caffeinated tea bags?
Like they weren't ripped out of the parch, but like the boxes
Okay.
shredded. So like it was it
Okay.
was it was a lot better than that. Also, she sleeps in the bed perpendicular, so I'm not getting any sleep.
Y'all just got to sleep perpendicular. That's what she's trying to force your hand.
And last time we did this, I forgot to mention this. This is a while ago, back when I was with the dogs who like to burrow.
Yeah.
And I talked about just Georgia Tech being the most uncool place on earth.
Yes, correct.
We are going to, I guess we're going somewhere in West Midtown or something like that. Again, we're going south of like Ponce, whatever it is, maybe it is Ponce, whatever. There's a guy who definitely has Georgia Tech student written all over him. He's on a scooter. He's at a crosswalk. He's just doing like figure eight in a lap, waiting for it to go. And I'm like, I bet the first time your mom let you leave your house was to go to IKEA before you moved into tech. You effing nerd.
100%. Here's
Yeah,
$200. Get some furniture.
I mean, I'm glad I'm engaged because that was the most Ward Moon of anti-pin I've ever seen in my life. I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, this is like Joe Bluth going up and down. If Joe Bluth was in here for Dragon Con.
That guy definitely blew himself for sure.
uh, uh, that flew over my head like a dead dove coming out of a freezer.
Don't know what you expected.
And on that note, I got a present for you. We're bringing it back. The grand return of graphic design is my passion. For the starters out there who don't know what this is my counter to break my brain with Bueller. What Cody does is I will create graphic design things like that could be a shirt, and he reacts to it in real time. I seed them. There's usually eight. He picks the best one of each pair, and then I lost the ability to do it. But I found a tub. They put a bunch of salt in it. It might have been in the back of a pizza place.
Found Vecna, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God. So here's how we do this. And make sure I get the seating absolutely right here. The again, I haven't done this in a while. So number 8 seed is Lane Kiffin Hot Yoga versus number 1 seed Diego Pavia PR.
Oh man.
It's
These sound like two heavy hitters out of the gate.
yes, Lane Kiffin Hot Yoga. And again, I don't remember what the taglines are for half of these. So um here we go. Um Making sure this uploads great. Okay, and I dropped this to Cody in Slack. Three, two, one.
Let's try to keep our working relationship professional. Lane Kiffin hot yoga.
Yeah.
There you go, Poppy. Johnny Manziel won a Heisman, so he didn't have to.
And for those listening on audio, Lane Kiffin hot yoga looks like something you would get like a Thai restaurant.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And then a Diego Pavia looks like something you would see. Um, let's just say if Green Day got really pissed off during warning, and that's basically what's happening right here. It's like it's Armitage Shanks in real life, and PR. It's P.
Yeah, it's a P joke. And P jokes are always going to land. Diego Pavia is advancing through this one for sure.
100%, man. The number 7 seed is Fernando Mendoza and Kurt Signetti go to White Castle
Okay.
for versus number 2, the Carson Beck multiplex.
Oh
um,
God.
I,
Oh.
I really found a really good interface for these. These things look great.
Oh yeah, 100%. These are solid, man.
Okay. Fernando is in there.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I don't think you are.
Fern- The Hoosier Bison beef burgers are so flipping good.
Yeah.
Two screens at the same time, Carson Beck multi.
Uh, the Carson Beck one's so good.
What would you do for $4 million? Two screens at the same time.
Is Beck advanced?
Yeah, Beck's advancing for sure.
All right. Your 3-6. Again, this is the Georgia Ole Miss. We got number 6 seed, John Mateer, Aaron Ground versus number 3, John Summerall Haberdashery.
Aaron Ground killed me. Oh God.
These are so good, man. I'm so proud of myself.
100%. Oh
I would
God. Yeah, I mean, whatever interface you're using, these look so much cleaner than the previous ones.
I know, and I can't draw, but I can send you these.
That's right. John Mateer, Aaron Ground. We have no idea where your stuff is going. Ain't it true? John Summerall, haberdashery. Two hats at the same time. I'm going Mateer, man.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Aaron Ground, just the phrase cracked me up. And then we have no idea where your stuff is going. It's perfect. Yeah, we're going with the upset here.
I just thought haberdashery was like that one came together. That
Oh,
was the cleanest.
100%.
That
No,
looks so.
I think what kills me with a lot of like is particularly these like the Lane Kiffin one, the Fernando and Kurt Signetti go to White Castle, and then both of these honestly, they look like business cards until you read what they say.
Isn't that special? And then our 5-4. We have Notre Dame Limited versus Jedfish Executive Search. I hope that didn't screw up there for me. Um, yeah, okay. That's not that one. Notre Dame Limited and Jedfish Executive Search. One of these is going to destroy you. The other one's not. I don't know which one is. That's why this is the 4-5.
That's right.
And here we go.
Let's go. We've got Notre Dame Limited taking our ball and going home since 2025. The visor looks phenomenal. If this rain-soaked visor could talk. The Jed Fishwood looks like a strip club advertisement.
It looks so good.
It's Jed Fish. It's Jed. The visor looks so, and again, like for those on audio, it's black and gold colors, and it just looks like a strip card, a strip club business card.
Got to stay in business here. So of the four between Diego Pavia PR, Carson Beck Multiplex, John Mateer Aaron Ground, and Jed Fish Executive Search, which is the best one?
It's got to be Diego Pavia PR. We honestly should have ended with the 8-1 seed because holy hell, man, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
And between Lane Kiffin Hot Yoga, Fernando Mendoza, Kurt Signetti go to White Castle, John Summerall Haberdashery, or Notre Dame Limited, which one got a bad matchup?
Um, it's between Summerall and Lane Kiffin. Those two definitely got a bad matchup. I'm gonna go. John Summerall got a bad matchup. Yeah, the John Mateer joke just landed just right with me, and so like I think that was a bad matchup for it.
Like I with his interface, like I took team colors. So like
Yeah,
I I
100%.
I, I, I put like orange and blue and teal. So I get Florida and Tulane in there. I'm just really proud of my work there, man.
100%. It looks great.
And this was episode 239 of False Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter at the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Really helps the show grow. I know we only can pick 4 of those graphic designs to advance, but 5, should have
Mhm.
potentially.
100%.
That's how brackets work. You got to lose friends. It's like Eddie Munson in the Upside Down.
We hate to see it, man. Eddie Munson, what a guy. What a guy.
Dude, he was really good going to high school.
100%. But hey, he didn't run.
He didn't run. Uh, he didn't run.
He didn't run just like Alabama, baby.
uh, does Eddie Munson have the GPA and the SAT score to get in Alabama? I don't know, but this is false.